Most woodworkers have spent way too much time fighting with a standard miter gauge, trying to dial in that perfect angle only to find the piece is off by a hair. That is exactly where the sled steps in. It is one of those tools that feels like it was designed by someone who actually spends their weekends in the shop, rather than just sitting behind a desk. The first thing you notice is how it handles large panels. Usually, trying to cross-cut a wide board on a table saw feels like a balancing act. But because this thing keeps the material off the saw table surface, that annoying tendency for the wood to wander or walk during the cut just disappears. It feels incredibly stable, which is a massive relief when you are working with expensive lumber. Now, the real magic happens when you start playing with angles. The scale is honestly a breath of fresh air. Instead of squinting at tiny, imprecise markings, you get a system that is remarkably easy to read and, more importantly, dead-on accurate. Whether you are building a simple four-sided frame or getting ambitious with a heptagon, the preset lines take all the guesswork out of the process. You can skip the scrap wood test cuts entirely, which saves a ton of time and frustration. Then there is the safety aspect. We have all had those moments where we are trying to trim a tiny piece of wood, and our fingers get a little too close to the blade for comfort. The hold-down clamp included here is a total game-changer for that. It exerts about 35 pounds of pressure, locking those small, awkward pieces in place so you can keep your hands well away from the danger zone. It pivots out of the way when you don't need it, which is a nice touch for workflow. Of course, it is not for everyone. If you are running a compact job site saw, this is going to be a non-starter. It is built for the heavier cabinet and contractor-style saws, so you really need to check your miter slot dimensions and the distance to the blade before you even think about picking one up. It is a bit of a commitment in terms of space, too, since it is a dedicated piece of gear that takes up some room in the shop. You might also find that the white finish shows dust and grime pretty quickly, so it requires a bit of wiping down if you like keeping your tools looking sharp. But honestly, if you are tired of fighting for accuracy and want to stop worrying about your fingers every time you make a small cut, this thing is a serious upgrade. It turns what used to be a stressful, multi-step process into something that feels almost effortless. It is one of those rare shop editions that actually delivers on its promises without making you jump through hoops to get there.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.